Hello. So this is, well, first of all, I'm Sarospa, as usual. I haven't transformed into someone else yet. And today I'll be your humble guide through the Addams Family every time. Let's stay away from the previews for now, because from what very little I've seen, maybe we should keep some of this a surprise. I think it's going to be a little weird. So this is the Addams Family Pugsly Scavenger Hunt. Pugsleys. I have no idea about pretty much of anything about this game. We're just getting right into it, I guess. What's going on? I feel like I've been kind of dumped in the middle of. I'm really gonna regret not reading the instruction manual, but I am gonna read the text more carefully. So look into my crystal ball and okay. I have a bad feeling about this one, guys. Bad feeling. What's that? I like do a pose. What does that do? What is? Hold on. Doesn't really seem to do anything. Okay, let's see if we can get past that night. Yeah, alright, alright. Jeez. Yeah. This strikes me as a little strange. I don't know about you. What? 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 Shit. Well, that didn't last very long. So I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like, I don't know much of really anything about the Addams Family. Can I, like, jump on this guy? What? Okay. Yes. Oh, see, so that's just bad visual design, because he's holding a sword straight up. So that's a point off for visuals right there. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Addams Family is like such a cultural touchstone. I guess that makes me... What? Okay. Yeah, the Addams Family is such a cultural touchstone that I mean, like, I know, like, you know, the basic, you know, the characters mostly, without ever having really seen any of the show, or I think there's been like other adaptations of it since the original. But I mean, they're just very recognizable. But I couldn't really tell you much. I don't know. From what I do remember / have seen ages ago, or vaguely recall, it seems like it would be pretty funny. I do think I've seen at least a little bit of the show, because like memories are coming back as I think about it. Oh, this could be an insurmountable obstacle here. I don't know if my dance moves can get through this. Am I missing an ability or something? That just pauses. Whoop. Okay, so this is my scavenger hunt. Normal underwear. Okay. So I guess I'm gonna go for the question mark. I guess it was that simple. I should have just known. Oops. I should have just known to stand on the guillotine. So, yeah. The place where that like money symbol is placed is a little I don't know, a little awkward. This kind of like circular viewport by itself is a little weird, kind of restricting my viewpoint of what's going on. Which is probably why it didn't occur to me that this might be a pit. I know. Excuses, excuses. I guess I got through it though. Oh, okay. Now, if only I knew what I was doing. Maybe we could talk. But so far this isn't going very well. Am I going to at least start? Okay, so I am. That's good, at least. Ugh. That was some lag right there. What is this? Is it running? I guess, okay, so it is running. I just haven't had like flat ground it tested out on until now. Did I like screw myself over here? There's like, hold on, there's like invisible things like everywhere in this level. So maybe, or in this game, I guess. Maybe if I, oh. No? Oh, these are climbable. Okay. That explains it. There we go. See, that was my mistake, is mistaking climbable objects for unimportant background details. Ooh, this, I don't like this, the climbing mechanics. That just, you can just slide right off of that. So, you know, this looks very like Mega Man. The spike platform with like the, oh, come on. Oof. Yeah, this one is kind of touchy. Oh, I did it like first try earlier. There we go. Okay, so that's gotta stop. Like every single time with that one. Yeah. Huh. Shit. Well, guess that's it. You know, so far the art's been alright, but I don't know, some of the drawing here is a little questionable, particularly the beady-eyed sister on the right. There's something a little off there. I don't know. That's a really unsettling noise. Like, that doesn't seem like that should be in a kid's game. That doesn't do anything. I don't know what I expected it to do, but it just seemed like such a weirdly obvious thing to be just kind of sitting right at the start there. I don't know. I don't know why you'd put that. Maybe it's blocking a path, is the idea. To keep things fresh, I'm gonna try, you know, woo. That didn't last long. So I don't know. So far, like, I feel like this game is alright. It's just like, again, like, it has the same problem as Arrow, is that there's really not a lot in the way of conveyance. Kind of a problem with, I'm sure, a lot of Super Nintendo games. But unlike Arrow, I kind of feel like, I don't know, I'm not being just like kind of screwed over by the controls or just not knowing what I'm doing. It just feels like I'm getting screwed over because it's just difficult, and because I'm new to the, I guess, the controls, the mechanics. Okay, that's new. I don't know. It feels like there's a little better design to it than Arrow was. It feels less, you know, I don't know. Definitely though, not so great on conveyance. I will say that. But on the other hand, I guess it just kind of feels like there's less going on in this game than in Arrow. Mainly it's just a matter of, like, I don't know where I'm supposed to go, but I assume if I just pick a direction, eventually I'll find something. Is it like, oh, okay. I can just, wow, that is a weird walk. That's weird looking. Okay, that's kind of funny. But on the other hand, like, I guess, my one concern about this game mainly is it feels like the kind of game that can just kind of lead you in circles if you don't really know what you're doing or have like a guide open. It really kind of, it has that feel to it. But that's not something I can confirm until I've played it more. Can I drop down through this? This time I'm gonna try and drop down with all the buttons, instead of just assuming it's the jump button like an Arrow. I guess. Well, I'm not being like hurt by these, so does that mean I can stand on them? I actually. Oh. Okay. Well, thanks for the consistency. Okay, that's kind of clever. I guess my other concern, which it just comes down to the game's old school sensibilities, is I assume that every time I lose all my lives, I'm just gonna have to start over, which is pretty harsh, but you know, such was the way of game design in the SNES era. So it seems like what hurts you isn't the cannonball, but the explosion, which means it has to actually like hit a flat surface. So like there's a difference. I think this is what was happening. Is there's a difference between the cannonball bumping into me and sliding off my face and just like hitting flat. But it's again not very well communicated. I guess it does mean, yeah, there we go. I do think this is a clever mechanic, though. Like, I like that. And that just kind of happened. Alright. So can I push the cannonballs up? Not really, no. At least not like that. Yeah, so I guess if I keep moving, like it kind of won't like explode in my face. Whoops, I actually had that one. Ugh. Can I like get through there? Not really, no. Okay, but that doesn't really help me that much. Ooh, okay. Why do you keep coming back? That's annoying. I feel like I'm kind of overcomplicating this somehow. Wait, hold on. There was like an unexploded one, TNT up here. Did I miss that? You, yeah, you. Get over here. That might have been important. Wait, it didn't? I don't know. I don't know. Ugh. If that's really what I'm supposed to do, like, that's so precise. I guess... Hold on. I've got an idea. Okay, so that just... The plunger just pops back up. No... Okay, and then I can land on it like ahead of it. Is this really how I'm supposed to do it? Like, this seems like it's like really needlessly precise. Dang, okay. How much time do we have? About 16 minutes? It's doable. Man, this game does not pull any punches, does it? I've got to be doing something wrong. Like, I feel like I'm gonna like go through the footage after this and feel like stupid. Like, oh no, this is obviously you're supposed to be doing it like this. Like, why did you do this the hard way for no reason? But I don't know. Okay, I haven't figured it out yet. If that's the case. That is kind of clever, though. What is with this, like, nondescript purple wall? Like, it doesn't fit thematically with, like, any of the rest of the environments in this area. Like, at all. But I'm making progress, though. I mean, there's that, at least. Shit. I'm gonna die, though. That is definitely a weird sound effect. The overall design of this game is definitely a little weird. Admittedly, like, it does kind of fit the general aesthetic, I guess, of the Addams Family. I'm speaking like I know. But they're kind of supposed to be kind of, like, weird or, like, off. But I don't know. This one feels a little haphazard. Like what? Why are there like cannons, giant mice everywhere, and like? I guess we're supposed to be in like the attic, like the giant attic with bombs and a colony of sentient, hostile mice. Is the idea? Who have are the cannons like? Were they just like there? Is this referencing something in the show? That like they keep like explosives in their attic? Maybe. I wouldn't know. But on the other hand, knowing the SNES era and how adaptations were generally handled, it seems just as likely that it's just kind of random for random's sake. Also, wow, this is really harsh. Holy shit, like, this is a sudden difficulty spike. Whoop. Am I just gonna have to, like, book it and hope I live with my 3 hits? Holy crap. Is it just random? I think it's just random. Good lord. So let's check the scavenger hunt. Let's see, we are 0 for 2 right now. Or is it 0 for 6? Why did I say 2? I feel like if we got far enough in the game, this would open up. I don't know. Are those like the only 2 choices? What? This is like the hub area. Like, I don't see the point in making this like that hazardous. Christ. I guess we'll go back upstairs. So am I like being transported to like another place here? Is that kind of the line of thinking that's going on? I'm kind of like being like teleported, like look through my crystal ball and see into your future where you're in a medieval shit. Well, that kind of screwed me over. I have to say that like the kind of like aesthetic of the framing here with like the woman and the crystal ball is definitely interesting. I don't know if it's good from a UI perspective, because it, like I said, it does kind of narrow your viewport. Holy crap, what is with the random shit just coming from off screen? Like that's what's like messing me up more than anything. If we could like just rewind time and tell Nintendo that like it's a bad idea to do like the random Bowser fireball thing in like Super Mario Bros. 1, like that would be great. Thanks. If we could just do that. That's like the one thing I'd want to use time travel for is improving marginally on a specific era of video games with a design choice that isn't really relevant to modern games anymore, simply to make some games from the SNES era a little bit better. That's what I want to use time travel for. I don't know about you guys, but that seems like the best use of time travel to me. I guess I kind of belabored the joke a little bit there. Oh well. I mean, I promised humor. I never promised good humor. Jesus. This game does love its spikes. At least it's not like Acro where it just kills you instantly. Like, that really strikes me as unnecessary, you know? But yeah, I guess, like, the problem overall with, like, all of these games, more than anything, is just, like, it comes from a school of thought that I feel isn't so much dominant anymore, where, like, there's more thought to, like squeezing longevity out of the game than out of, like, making it enjoyable. And that really drives it seems like, the design decisions of making you, like, start over when you run out of lives. Like, I feel like, the ability to save, just, like, save your game and, like, come back or just, like, start over indefinitely, at a certain point was, like, really one of the greatest and, you know, most important, like, quality of life innovations to happen in games, and just it just kind of makes it hard to get invested in a game when you have to, like, put a pretty big investment of time in it, but every time you die you have to start over. Like, it works for some genres, like scrolling shooters are kind of meant to be played from start to finish. But for most games, most types of games, it's really needlessly punishing. And I guess that's kind of, we can look back on this with our modern perspective and kind of think about it that way. But for what it is, it's not bad. I don't know if I should call this one a hit or a miss in terms of you know, whether or not it's worth it. I will say, I think this is not exactly in the spirit of, I guess, the purity of playing the old games, but if it were me, just playing this on my own time, I would just use save states, not to, like, cheat your way out of death, but just as for use in checkpoints. I think that's fair. It's, you know, not that I even mind the idea of using using you know, emulators, using save states however you want, but just in the idea of, like, trying to keep to the spirit of the game while also just kind of making it reasonable. I guess I'm kind of a little on the fence on this one. It's not exactly a hit. It's not exactly a miss either. I don't think it's badly designed by any means. But it just kind of I guess the way you might put it is that it doesn't really go beyond the whatchamacallit, the gaming, you know, the design tropes of its day. So, you know, some games kind of end up being pretty timeless, whereas some games you can really kind of tell, like, the era in which they were made, particularly, like, the limitations of games like this, when we didn't really understand game design as well. And so it kind of ends up feeling that way, where it's solidly designed, but it's just, you know, kind of really punishing and really frustrating, because not even because of like level design or the mechanics, but just because of the overarching, I guess I'm not doing well. I don't know what you call it. The like structure design, the game flow design. I don't know. Hopefully, anything that I've said for the last 5 minutes made some kind of sense. I feel like I got kind of wrapped up in my own head, and I haven't even been like thinking about the game. I've just kind of been playing it on autopilot. Obviously, going into this, I didn't expect to see that much of the game. Hopefully you got kind of a vague idea of it. I still feel like I'm probably missing something, which is common, you know, a very common thing when games of this era don't really teach themselves that well. It's easy to miss like important concepts, and I don't know. The other alternative is it's just a really hard game, and like this is it. That's entirely possible. I don't discount that possibility. And also, there are fart noises when I step on the enemies, so that's good to know. I guess it's very typical of me that once I find the run button, I just hold it down all the time. Come on, there we go. I'd like to get at least a little bit further. These birds don't get in my way. Like that, stuff like this though is like, this particular gauntlet, it's very like, almost kind of I wanna be the guy-ish. It's funny how like, a lot of constructs, a lot of design elements that were kind of common back in the day are kind of recognized now as being kind of unfairly hard. And that's kind of almost like the thing about like games like I Want to Be the Guy, is almost kind of a parody of this very type of game. So I guess it's easy to feel kind of a family resemblance between them. I guess we're getting up on our time limit here, as it were. Like I said, I really would like to see more of the game, but you know, it is how it is. I'm inherently limited by how good I can get at the game in half an hour. It is kind of a slight downside with games like this, games with this kind of life system, that as an LP, I just kind of have to show you what I can, and just have to deal with the fact that I might not be able to get very far into the game. As an LPer, that's a little bit frustrating, but you know, such is life. And that's the one big thing I'm really not liking about this game is stuff just falling from off screen. Like that really strikes me as not very fair. Everything else, I think it's pretty good. I think that the level design is actually pretty solid. Some of the stuff is actually fairly creative. It's just kind of sad that games can actually be like kind of clever and kind of interesting, but they really shut you out. Is a funny thing. Like they really kind of, you know, it's a lot like kind of the Battletoads thing. Like everyone only knows like the first 3 levels of Battletoads, because these games really just kind of like, at a certain point, you're just kind of, you know, it just won't let you get any further until you just kind of grind through it. And I think it's funny, like a lot of games like this, we kind of look back on our childhoods and find all these games that we just only ever got into the first like 2 or 3 levels of, because they're just so challenging, and because the accepted mechanics of the day made it so hard to make any headway into a game. This one definitely suffers from that, I think. But like I said, today we have the modern benefit of save states. If this game looks interesting to you, I'd say just use honor system save point, save state checkpoint system, rather than relying on the game's really strict 5 lives, then you're done. That's my recommendation. So I guess I can call it a hit with qualifications. I guess now my gaming archaeology is now becoming a rating thing, a thumbs up or thumbs down or something. But mainly the thing is just for you to see and judge for yourself, because like I said, that's the main message of this whole series is all these games are out there. They're, I don't want to say free, I will say available easily. If you're fine with certain not completely legal channels. I'm gonna get in trouble for posting this on YouTube. Whatever. Everyone uses emulators. I guess if you like a game that you find on an emulator and you feel bad about it, you can see if they're selling it in some modern channel. I don't see the point of buying a game used, as if that's morally better than just emulating. The publisher doesn't get any. I'm getting off topic. Point is, this game's alright. And you can go play it if you want. I might a little bit with save states. I don't think I have the patience for the whole lives thing. So, before I allow myself to ramble on any further, I will see you next time. I don't know what game's on my list next, but with the rate I've been going lately, you're probably going to see it real soon. So, I hope to see you then.